What a week. Difference in a week. Last week was in here, like telling guys, and feeling great and celebrating, and uh, felt like I wasn't gonna get a chance to do that again. Uh, we practiced that scenario every week. We only needed 10 yards. 10 yards. Sometimes it doesn't happen. It just feel like you like I said, we got on the tracks and it's like, man, let's go. And obviously we didn't handle it very well. We did everything to lose, and that's what happens. But I am proud of them. We didn't quit. We kept fighting, even with 5 turnovers and a couple of big plays. I think overall we fought and gave ourselves a chance. That's really all you can ask for, is give yourself a chance. And then the next step is finding a way to win. They're good teams. They're used to winning, they find a way to win. And we just have not, today is indicative of the season, we just have not found a way to win those type of games. I was telling Stu, we lost you guys by 2 games, 3 points. 2 games, 3 points. And it's come down to the last series. Both times, we had the ball, and we didn't do anything with it. I think that's very tough. But the reality is that we just ain't made enough plays.
Coach, Dormady fumbles there at the end. He had 5 turnovers on the day. Do you look anywhere else, you think, next week?
Yeah, when you're losing, we got 2 games left. We're going to see. This is kind of now you start building toward the future and trying to see what some guys can do and what they can't do. I think now everything is back on the table, just to see what's going on as we figure out and build a roster for guys, that we can finish games. Not finishing game is obviously not good enough. It'll get you 1-7.
And Coach Buckley, sorry about the loss. And do you feel this team kind of rode that high of the win a little too much?
No, because we've played like this before. I was just taking notes on like what happens. We change practice like at the beginning of the game, and then we get going, and then we come out the third quarter and kind of the same thing, have a low, then we get going again, and just trying to figure out those dynamics, like what's the issue. We've tried everything to figure out why we have those lows and highs and all that throughout the game.
Yeah, and the last thing is with the turnovers, was that a situation where we just got a little too careless with the football?
Yeah, I haven't looked. Some of it I know the last one, you obviously would like for them to throw it away right there. I mean, 10 yards, field goal, kick it, game over, 40 seconds left, 2 timeouts. Loose ball, I know the first one they had, it looks like he was a little loose with it. And we practiced ball security this week, so those are tough. Those are tough. I mean, we had that last week too and got away with it. We didn't get away with it this week.
Coach, you faced a tough defense this week. What did they do to keep you so one-dimensional and keep Dormady on the run the entire time?
They rushed 4 or 5. Their front did a great job. They was big and physical. They played a lot of zone behind it. Once we figured that out, we started to move it. But when you have turnovers, it stops. You're already up against the clock. It's running, and you giving back or giving away possessions. I thought the defense, if you'd have told me we hold them to 18 points and lose, I would have never believed that.
Coach, we've talked about turnovers and how many there were, but what does it say about this team's effort that they were still in it at the end with that opportunity to win?
It says a lot. Sooner or later, I love the effort. I love what we're doing. But we got to make some plays when they count and win some ball games. I think the effort and what we did up until this point has represented us and the city well. But I'm like the fans too and said we want to turn that into wins. and we have to figure out a way to get it done.
Terrell, now that you're kind of out of the playoff mix, what's your message to your team over the next 2 weeks to kind of keep them focused and try to get them moving forward?
Well, we're professionals. We're professionals, and we're going to come and we're going to show up and play hard. If you don't want to do that, then it's just a lot of people out there that will do it. That's it. That's what this organization is about: is finishing, preparing, and trying to play 60 minutes. We've yet to play a full 60 minutes. That's probably the most disappointing thing. So we have to figure out a way these next 2 games to play a full 60 minutes.
Coach, last week you talked about it being Sunday and the rise. Today was a little bit more of the fire. Can you take this fire and put it to your team and say, guys, this is what's going to drive us to win out the rest of the season?
Absolutely. We talked about it. I told them I was proud of them from the effort standpoint, but we have to learn how to finish. It's heartbreaking and disappointing for all of us, but we've had 4 or 5 of these, and it's like sooner or later, when is it going to sink in? Like we keep changing things. Somebody has to make a play when it counts, and we just have not done that.
Another tough one, guys. Fell short, but statistically, you literally beat these guys on the field when it comes to offense. In your mind, what went wrong?
5 turnovers. I mean, that's the number one determining factor in winning and losing games. So to have 5 turnovers, that's to have it be a 2-point game. I mean, it obviously sucks and it hurts, but I mean, you ain't gonna win a game having 5 turnovers.
That being said, week over week, the offense seemed a little sluggish against this really tough defense. You played a tough defense last week and ended up in a track meet. What was the comparison to this week?
I mean, they had a good plan on defense for us. We're explosive offense, but just playing a soft shell and making us throw underneath and rallying to the ball. And, I mean, they're physical. Their D-line's good. They had pressure on me all game. And I didn't take care of the football.
Caeveon, we talked a little bit about the turnovers and all of that, but what does it say about this defense's effort that you guys still had a shot at the end, despite you mentioned yourself only giving up 18 points. What does that say about the defense's performance, how much fire you had today?
You can always perform better. There's a couple plays early in the game that we should have made that could have gave the offense a couple more chances to score touchdowns. So, we never satisfied on defense. We always got to put them in position to win. 'Cause like my coach in college used to tell me, they got to be right once. We got to be right every time. So we got to give them the ball, and that's football. Stuff happens.
Yeah, cute. Quinten, definitely it seemed like they had a lot of pressure on you throughout the whole game. Can you talk about how they was able to apply so much pressure on you?
Yeah, I mean, they're big up front. They did a good job pushing the pocket, and then, I mean, on the back half, it seemed like most of the stuff they had gloved up and just made enough plays. I mean, forcing me out of the pocket and chasing me down. But, I mean, I got to hold on to the ball. That's what it comes down to. I mean, you can't have – I think I had 3 fumbles and then 2 picks. So, I mean, that ain't going to get it done.
And Caeveon, definitely, was there anything that really stood out for you different from this game as opposed to when you played them the first time?
They made a couple more plays. At the end of the day, the team that makes some more plays and takes care of the ball, they win. That's football. It's not a secret. Everybody watched the game. They seen what happened. And it's not on one person. It's on the whole team. It's on offense and defense. Like I said, we had opportunities. We have to score on defense too. We can score and stop them on defense. Offense could just score the ball. So we can control the game actually. So we got to start doing that. I think that's the next level for our defense is scoring on defense. Because we're playing great defense right now, but we got to score.
Towards the end of the game, you guys score a touchdown, go for the PAT, but you go for 1. In your mind, are you thinking go for 3?
I mean, that's initially what I was thinking. Obviously, it's in their hands, and we trust what they're going to do. I mean, we did a similar thing versus Vegas and didn't get it, so I don't know if that kind of played a factor in it. And at least then, we got the ball back because defense played great all game. To be in a 2-point game with 5 turnovers is unbelievable. But I think their thought process was to have the defense stop them, get us the ball back like they did, and then us drive down and be able to kick a field goal to win and not have to score. And if we didn't get it, then we either go for the tie or we try to go score. So, I mean, that gave us some more options, I guess.
And for both of you, with 2 games left in the season, what do you guys got to do to light that fire and finish strong? We just heard Coach Buckley talk about how important it was to finish. What do you guys got to do to finish the season on a high note and go into the offseason?
You go first.
I mean, continue to do what we do. I mean, the locker, I've said it the last 3 weeks, this locker room hasn't had any quit. I mean, yeah, this game sucks. I mean, it hurts, especially like for me personally because I didn't play good. But that locker room ain't got no quit. So just got to go back to work, get all these bangs and bruises and all that kind of healed up and be ready for another war next week.
Quinten, you know, you've been through a lot of things in your career, from college, switching schools a few times, you know, the CFL, things like that. You go from beating the #1 team in the league last week to a tough loss for you. You said 5 turnovers. Kind of, how have you grown to kind of manage these feelings that you go through, the ups and downs playing football?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm still in the like emotional part of this for sure. But I mean, I haven't, my career, my life to this point hasn't been necessarily easy. I mean, my life hadn't been like super hard. Like I didn't, you know, grow up in a tough situation, but you know, with my kids and stuff like that, we've gone through some hard stuff. And I mean, you just got to wake up the next day. I mean, I know who's got me, and that's God. So, I mean, all I can do is wake up tomorrow if he allows me to, and go back to work and keep grinding, because I know that locker room ain't gonna quit, so I can't quit on them.
You know, definitely it was a great effort by the team. What would you, overall, your thoughts about, you know, this team and going forward at this point?
Is it working? Okay. I'm proud of this team. We've come a long way, especially the offense, defense, special teams. It was a tough loss today, you know, but I mean, moving forward, you know, we just got to correct the little things. That's what haunted us the whole year, you know, penalties, MAs, mental errors, you know, so we just got to correct that, lock in a little more on that the last 2 games.
Eli, good to meet you. Kyle Nash with the 3-point conversion. What kind of relief, I guess, for lack of a better word, does it bring in offense? I mean, you had a number of turnovers to that point, 4 turnovers, and defense keeps you alive in a game where you still have a chance to give Jose a shot to maybe kick the game winner. What kind of, how would you kind of say it's a luxury to have a defense that can do that?
Yeah, man, hats off to the defense. You know, they came through when we needed them, and that's all you can ask for. The offense, you know, we played to the last second, you know, so, you know, we were ready to make our plays, and unfortunately we had another turnover, so.
You were targeted quite a bit today, and we were commenting about how this was the Eli Rogers show on offense. Talk a little bit about the receiving core and the camaraderie that you guys have. It's a talented group.
Oh, yeah, we're all cool, man. You know, it's a good group of guys. I'm just thankful. I thank God for this opportunity, be around guys like that, to have opportunities like this and to take advantage of it, you know. But great group of guys, and I love them.
Eli, great game. Like he was saying, you have a lot of big names on that team, especially on the receiving core. You know, Cody also played in the NFL. Kind of where do you feel you and him being two of the top receivers on the team, what do you think is the next step for you guys?
The next step is next week, you know, take 24 hours like Coach said, you know, regroup, get back to the drawing board, and come out and try to do it again next week and get the W.